It is September 7th of 2020, and I wanted to show you two more unique peppers that we grew in our yard. We actually grew 3 super hots this year. We grew a Apocalypse Scorpion, a White Ghost pepper, and a Paper Lantern pepper. We won't be trying the super hots on camera this year. We usually don't eat the super hots raw or even utilize them raw really. Usually oh, one cough every video. Usually what we end up doing is we dry the pods and then we crush them into big batches of chili or big dishes, larger dishes, and have the heat kind of spread through when we sometimes, very rarely, like extra spicy food, but we don't really take them normally. These ones specifically, after I've taken them off, a couple of them, I will show you guys inside a little bit closer what they look like and tell you a little bit more about them. But I wanted to be able to kind of showcase or do a little profile video on each one of these kinds of peppers. And since we weren't going to eat the super hots and we're looking at a steep cold drop overnight for a couple days, we wanted to make these a little quick video on these. This one here, right here, is the White Ghost. So the Apocalypse Scorpion is in back right here, and it has no production on it, and it should be able to survive the cold. Most of these should survive them, but even if it started producing, I think that it would take too long in order to finish out the season, because this is our first little cold snap, but we'll hit several of these as the yard slowly kind of degrades to the end of the season. This one right here is the White Ghost, and it's a really beautiful plant. One of the notes on super hots is they take a long time. The seeds can take even a week or two extra to start sometimes. The plants take longer to get started. Transplanting, it seems like they, struggle to get their legs. It's not really that they're struggling, it's just the entire process is a lot longer. So if anybody's interested in growing super hots, I would highly suggest you maybe take a look into your zone and farther along. But this one is the White Ghost, a really beautiful plant. We've tried to grow this one 3 years in a row and haven't got it to production. We got a Scorpion a couple years ago to production, but the 2 hots that made it, that I want to show, these pods, after going white, they just stayed white. So I figured these 2 right here are ready for saving. We'll take those off. We really like this plant. Even without production, at the end of the season, it's like one of our power plants. It just looks like a little mini bonsai tree. And the other hot pepper I wanted to talk a little bit about is one called the Paper Lantern, and also known as Northern Habanero. And this plant is kind of furry, and the reason it's known as a Northern Habanero is because it is super hot. It's actually, generally, its least amount of heat is usually hotter than a habanero, and its highest amount of heat's a little bit hotter. So it would be considered a really hot pepper right here. I'll take that one off. Really cool looking pepper, and I'll look up a little bit more information and see if I can provide some more when we take these inside. But this is the Paper Lantern. The pepper plant is actually kind of furry, which reminds me of another kind of cold weather pepper. But if you were a shorter season and trying to grow in maybe a cooler climate, then this one right here would be a good choice to try to get a super hot going. So maybe focus on the plants that come from colder regions a little bit more to try to get one of those going if you live in a super cold zone. I know Prairie Plant Girl, she lives in Sasquatch Heaven or something. I don't know, I probably pronounced that wrong. It's zone 3B though, up in Canada, so I'm guessing this one might be a good one for Canadians to maybe look into. Is the ones that are called Capsaicin pubescens. They're black seeded peppers, and this one isn't a black seeded one, but it's also a furry kind of plant. And I've noticed that we grew one called the Black Cobra as well that was supposed to be a cold weather hot pepper, and it had a furry plant as well. So if you have short seasons or a little bit cooler seasons, in the northern areas, this might be a super hot you want to look into. It's called the paper lantern. So the paper lantern, excellent seed pod on that. The white ghost, a couple seed pods on that. I know they're not really red, they're kind of getting that orangish peach color a little bit though in comparison to these other ones right here, and it'll help those ripen. These ones will have a lot harder time taking the cold snap we're about to get, so I am going to take these inside and look up a little bit more info to give to you guys. Sorry I won't be trying these on camera. We don't really use hot peppers that way. I think in the future we might do something like that, but it takes us a long time to get these peppers. So some of the last varieties we haven't shown on camera yet, and we'll love you guys and catch you in a second. Alright, so I'm showing these here real quick. I thought I would also give you a quick look at our other pepper saving and tomato seed saving things that we have going on. So this is the white ghost. It does get a little bit of a cream color as it's ripening, but it really has like a brilliant white when it's right on. So this is going to be what our 2 pods that we're going to dry up for seeds. We won't even take them out of the pods, the seeds out of the pods, unless we're utilizing the peppers for some reason. This one's the paper lantern. It's a cooler weather, not a cold weather, but a cooler weather super hot variety as well. I looked this one up. It's 150,000 to 400,000 Scoville units. So its cap is generally just a little bit higher than a hot habanero. This one right here is the ghosts sit at about 500K to 1.5 or 500,000 Scoville units to 1.5 million Scoville units. The white and yellow varieties tend to be a little bit less on heat. So this one right here is probably 1 million Scoville units, which is, I think the internet said 120 times hotter than a jalapeno. So we have never eaten a super hot plain like that just because we're not big heat fans, but we like to grow them as far as their spreadability in cooking. That's the paper lantern and the white ghost. And really quick here, that's 1 month's worth of ornamentals. There's the full Jew, the Reza, lemon drop. That's the sad fish pepper, all those ones right there. These 3 are that cross carroted pepper we had this year. Those are all buena mulata. That's a buena mulata. That's that hot courbaki. There's some shishito. Here's seeds we've saved so far this year alone. There's only 3 kinds of tomato in here right now, but we have another 6 going right here. Some onions, okra, some more Blue Beauty tomatoes, and we've jarred tons. So we kind of feel a little pretentious or showboaty if we show harvest or something. Sometimes when we're out there, we've felt a lot more socially awkward and quiet this year because of the whole pandemonium, but we are still here. We love you guys. We love hanging out with you guys. We love seeing your guys' gardens and all the unique things you grow. So it is September 7th of 2020, and just wanted to show you the current seed saving situation right now. So save those seeds. I want everybody to know it might be a little bit of a normal thing that seeds are out this time of year. It's kind of not in the season to be buying seeds, so a lot of places are naturally out of seeds. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that there's going to be a shortage coming up, but whether there's a shortage or not, it's always a good idea to kind of do these things yourself. The evolutionary gardening thing, growing the same from your own seeds in your own environment repeatedly, will make that plant more adapted to your zone and area, as well as we've had a ton of unique crosses this year and a lot of intrigue. And most of why we grow is we don't try to push production as much as we could or should, but we like to grow for the unique and fun of being out there. So grow every year as if it's your last, and that's one of the things that we keep in our minds whenever we're doing this sort of thing. I wanted to show these 2 hot peppers, even though I'm not going to try them. Sorry guys. This is the paper lantern and the white ghost. So catch you next time. Love you.